Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the September 22nd, 1997 edition of Raw is War, and the match card is as follows. In our opening contest, Rocky Maivia takes on Ahmed Johnson in the final opening round match of the WWF Intercontinental Championship Tournament. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it
In
is.
our next match, the Legion of Doom takes on the Nation of Domination, more specifically Farouk and Kama. Owen Hart takes on Brian Pillman in a semifinal WWF Intercontinental Championship Tournament match. Um, Hunter Hearst Helmsley takes on one of the iterations of Mick Foley, and in our main event, Bret Hart takes on Goldust in a non-title match.
Viewer discretion is advised.
I have to say, I'm pretty sure like all of these matches were a serve, pretty much.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was very
So
like
rare.
it was very much like a less is more scenario for
And
once.
sometimes I mess with that heavy.
Yes,
Like
yes,
there
yes.
was some good wrestling in this. Some good wrestling.
Amen. Hello, welcome everybody. If you are new here, you're in luck. That is Kelsey. She is also new here. I am Xavier. I am not so new. This episode of Raw's War emanates kind of from our backyard or like where we grew up. So it takes place in Madison
Ew.
Square Garden, the mecca of the WWE, as it is known generally. So that sets us up for a nice little video package that opens the show of like all the just great moments in wrestling history from Madison Square Garden, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it gave pay-per-view energy, this
Yeah,
intro.
very
I
much
was like,
so. I feel like that kind of happens every time they go to MSG. It's like always
yeah,
a
they
bigger
turn up.
deal when they go to MSG. Um, in the crowd, we got two NJ plates with Mosh and Thrasher on them. Love to see it. Love
Love
to see
that.
it. Really, I want one. I want one.
Yeah.
I am no longer a NJ driver officially, but I want an NJ plate with
Which is
with
great because
Mosh
I
on
feel
it.
like I was gonna say you would want Mosh and I would want Thrasher.
Hmm.
So,
So good.
and
Let's see if we can make that happen.
if you had the Pennsylvania plate Mosh and I pulled up with the NJ plate Thrasher, kind of a serve.
I agree. We'll
Y'all
see.
are gonna be sick of me. If I had a vanity plate, girl,
Oh my
vanity
God.
the key word.
Amen. So, that takes us to our opening contest between Rocky Maivia and the returning Ahmed Johnson. It's been a minute since we've seen him. He's been out with injury. You can tell because
Missed
his
him.
knee is all kinds of wrapped up.
Wrapped.
He's looking very cyborg in
Mm-hmm.
this one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Rocky is flanked by all of the nation when he comes out, but Sergeant Slaughter says, "No, no, no, get to step in."
Get to step hit the bricks, bitch.
Yeah, he let them have their little moment, their little pose in the ring, and then he said, "Okay, cute, move."
Yeah. He said that was so nice and fun. Now get out.
Yeah, for real.
This was like one of the best Kamishi slaughters in terms of what he actually did today.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
he like showed up for his job today and I enjoyed it.
Right, and it was very short, sweet, to the point. Loved it. Loved it all
Yes.
around.
I
This is
hate
what
when
I
he
want from the
carries on.
commissioner.
Yeah,
Just come in, lay down the law, leave. Come in,
period.
lay down the law, leave. I'm not looking for you as a character so much, because it's not 1980 anymore. Um,
Yeah, I'm looking for more of a character in the less of it. Like it's almost like a not a mysterious figure, but just like he comes out, he lays down the law and he leaves. Like I don't need you to have I don't want backstory, I don't want current events. I just want you to do your job.
right. Fully, fully, fully.
See.
The crowd treats us to a Rocky Sucks chant. Love to see it.
Mm.
Also, we are about a year out from his debut in the same building. Um, Rocky
Oh,
debuted
wow.
at Survivor Series in November 96 at Madison Square Garden, leading his team to victory, in that instance. And now we are almost a full year later, and the crowd has turned on him and he has turned on the crowd. So we love to
But
see it.
The Rocky sucks chant stays ever present, whether
Mm,
they hate him or really hate him.
right,
So,
exactly. It's
and
like
that's
which
tea.
right, but at least he's doing it on purpose now.
I was like, I can't believe we're here.
Hmm.
And I know we said that when we watched the one episode where it was like suddenly like all the pieces were coming into place. Like Rocky was in the
This
Nation,
also is
Shawn and
another one of
Triple H.
those
Yes, I was like, oh my God, like so much is happening. But I was like, wow, when I watched him walk in with the Nation, I was like, oh my God, we are like really here.
we're here.
We're
We're here.
here, girl. And
Hmm.
yeah, what comes up with, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um,
We have
just
arrived.
a highlight of the match. Rocky does a beautiful float over DDT that will like become just a staple of what he does.
It was
Um,
so amazing.
The Rock is the best when he shows like how athletic he is for his size.
Yes,
People forget that he
exactly.
was like a college football play, like a college football champion. Like he was
Yeah.
a big dude. He's like 6'5" generally, and is pushing like 300 pounds of muscle almost. He's like 275, like, which is
He's
crazy. And he's
yeah.
not like fat. You know what I mean? It's not a fat
Uh
275.
all muscle.
It is a like he would sink to the bottom of a pool, 275.
He is
There
literally
is
the
no
heart of the
buoyancy
ocean.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's literally the heart of the ocean. He is 18 carats, girl. He is
Leo
going
died.
straight down. Leo, Leo died. He's not fitting on that door.
Oh my God, so
He is the
crazy.
door.
No, actually. Um, so for some reason Captain Lou Albano is out at ringside, which they make mention of, but like he's out there like
Taking
taking
notes,
notes.
like
And then
detective
literally I just have
style.
it as like a question mark. I'm like, what's he taking notes for? Whom is he taking notes for?
Whom do you serve?
Right. Like where do you belong? Who's your
And
keeper?
it was never explained. It was
No.
like he just, and so I was like, is he somebody's new
It
manager?
was
Is
just like
he
a rogue uncle
looking
in a Hawaiian shirt, just like walking in a
with
circle.
that
Like
little
that's
bun?
right. That's where they led. They were just like, ah, yes, Captain Lou.
And Jerry was like, hey. And I was like, hey,
You want to explain that any further?
hey. Anybody have anything other than hey for horses?
Mm, yo, for
Okay,
real.
thank you.
No,
Nothing.
never explained, never brought up again. Ahmed Johnson injures his hand when he gets tossed over the top rope by Rocky. He starts like bleeding. I don't know if he cut his hand on like the lip of the ring where like they all the shit is actually like tied together. What happened? I don't know. But he hits the deck and starts immediately holding his hand and it's just like bleeding from the hand. And they had no
Yeah.
problem just being like, hey,
Hey.
hey.
It's so funny because, and this is like, I don't mean this as a read, but Jerry was like, Ahmed just seems like really injury prone. And I was like,
Kinda.
he kind of is though. And no shade to Ahmed Johnson, love you. I missed you so much. But I was like,
I feel
he
like we
kind
just
of is though. What a weird thing to injure, like cut the palm of the hand. Like, what are you gonna do, Blood Brothers? Like, I don't
it was
understand.
yeah, I don't know. I
How'd
don't
you
know.
even do that? Crazy. But
No
he
one
said that and I
even.
was like,
I mean,
ooh.
as of recently, he's not incorrect.
Ever
Uh,
since I've known him, we had the ruptured kidney, then the kidney was popped again, and then we had the
right,
knee, and then we had the neck, and then we had the back, the and the crack. Like
right. No, for real. Oops.
crazy. Oops.
Sorry. I didn't know I meant was so brittle.
And he doesn't look that way. He just looks so big.
I know. I say that and like he could break me. It's
He
like
literally snapped me like a toothpick.
no, fully. I like have been like too cold today and like can't handle it. So
Yeah, the two of us like this with our hot tea. Like
he's so
he's
weak and
so
brittle. Like, as if
this
either of us have ever done anything.
this
Ugh.
is no swear to God, this is like when people watch like Great British Bake Off or like
Oh, and they're
Drag
talking
Race
their
and they're like
shit.
sitting and they're just like if I had done this challenge like
If you had done
Great
this
British Bake
challenge,
Off, yeah.
Clara, you would have made pancakes. All
You would
right.
have,
Like,
yeah, you would have made chocolate chip pancakes and forgot to put the chocolate chips in, girl. Like,
right.
let's
Like
be real with
that's
ourselves.
right.
But me at me. I'm like, I
No,
need to get a grip.
same. We've been doing this show like too long to be
I'm
just
getting too
this,
comfortable.
yeah,
I'm so
to be
sorry,
this
everybody.
flagrant with it. At least we know. At least we're like
Sorry.
self-aware. There are people with
Ooh.
similar platforms that really just be dogging on everybody. And I'm like, guys, we take this with a grain of salt. We always said we watch this like a TV show. Like we
Yeah,
watch
and that's
this like
it.
a TV show.
And that's
Um,
it.
so Ahmed Johnson at some point gets tossed into the ring steps, pretty brutally, of course. But he makes a turnaround, hits the Pearl River plunge, and gets the victory over Rocky, moving on in the tournament. Probably for the best because whoever was the winner of this match is going to go on to compete with Farouk,
Mhm.
who really should not have been passed on to the semifinals either. But because
Oh.
he injured Ken Shamrock, he got the bye.
Hmm.
Um, which, sure.
Yeah. As soon as they said that if excuse me, if Rocky won, he was gonna have to fight Farouk, I was like, I feel like Ahmed's gonna pick up the victory then.
Yeah. And it's also, we haven't seen him in a minute, so.
Yeah. A bit
And
of
last time we left him, he was getting his ass beat after getting kicked out of the nation. So
which I wrote a note. I was like, is it just me? Like, or was the reason he got kicked out like not even good? I don't even remember why they
I feel like they were just like, we found newer, faster, better, stronger, and we want that. Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't know there
Like,
was like an occupancy limit, like being to be in the nation. Nation implies a lot of people.
that's what I thought, but they tried that originally. So,
And they did trim the fat real quick. D'Lo is
right.
the only one who's been hanging on this whole time, girl.
No,
I love that for him.
100%. Absolutely. He just stays quiet, just doing his business.
He stays quiet and he always throws hands when he needs
Right.
to, and that's who I would want on my team as well. I get that.
It's giving like I don't know, like Dr. Dre. Like I feel like he stays quiet until he
Drops
doesn't.
like a sick beat.
Right. No.
And
He
I
just
see dead people. And
no
then it's like,
fully until he needs to like I don't know, like boost up like Eminem or something, and then he comes out of like the woodwork, and we're like, oh
oh hey
yeah.
girl. Yeah, like when he literally at Kendrick Lamar's like show in in LA where he like Dr. Dre introduced Not Like Us and everyone was like
Right, right.
Errol.
That's what I'm
Love
saying.
that.
Like, yeah,
That
I
was a good I love that your brain
connected
used that
those.
together. Yeah, I
Thank
love
you.
that.
My
It's one of
brain's
your
an odd
skills.
one.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I cast a wide net for references. Next, we get Stone Cold creating some chaos because his music hits and he's nowhere to be found, and it takes the cameraman 4.5 years to actually locate him.
It took
And
me 4.5 years. I was like, where is this
fully,
man?
he said, guys, we're playing. He said, "Where's Waldo?" He
Yeah.
said, "Find
Except he
me."
wore black clothes.
No, fully. And also didn't actually stand anywhere that would differentiate him from the crowd. He was just like
Nope.
level with the crowd. Like
He
you
was
barely
in the
saw his
scrum,
he looked like just like a floating head. Like it was the Haunted
like a
Mansion.
Zor-El head.
Like it
Yeah.
was crazy. I was just like, okay. And then he's like, get the camera over here, stupid. And we're like, okay, you gotta be giving him a little bit of credit. Like
Yeah, stupid
you're
is crazy. Where
I
are
was
you?
yeah, yeah, fully. You decided to make this a mystery. So like patience, sir.
Mm-mm.
Basically, he's like, there's no way you can do Raw in New York City without me. So there's that.
And
And
that's
then,
true.
and then he goes, someone's getting their ass kicked tonight, and that's the bottom line. Short, sweet, to the point. He's just like, to the ether, someone's getting their
Someone.
ass. He said, I'm
I don't know who.
manifesting.
Yeah, I don't know who. I don't know when, but it will be
Someone.
whoop ass and it will be sometime this evening.
Right.
So
Fully.
look out for that. And we all said,
100%.
bet,
Bet. Absolutely.
bet.
Next we are I don't want to say treated. I'm gonna say subjected to Sable's secret mission. It's like a laser tag toy, um,
This
like
used to be
commercial.
Sunny's gig.
Yeah, they've moved on. They're like, hey, we just don't think you can sell the goods like you used to.
And I don't
Uh,
know why, 'cause she's been eating the
eating,
girls up.
absolutely eating. But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird commercial of Sable taking on Howard Finkel, a legendary ring announcer, Hall of Famer.
So
Um,
funny. The
the
floating
Fink,
Jor-El head of who I don't know. Some man with an eye patch.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. As someone who likes to participate in some laser tag, great, sure. This felt like a return to yesteryear. Like this
Again,
felt
it was
like
Sunny's like super soaker mission thing,
right.
except it was laser tag. But I said, I guess get those sponsorships, girl. Like, I mean, I hope they're cutting you an extra check for this, whatever this is.
Right. We get a few recaps from One Night Only, in particular the main event between Bulldog and Shawn Michaels. I'm not gonna bring it up every time they go over it because they bring it up quite a
Lot.
bit. But I will say that Jerry crazy on commentary for this one. For some reason, this man he goes, and the Bulldog, accompanied by his cancer-stricken sister. I was like, cancer-stricken is crazy.
Yeah,
Saying
cancer
any kind
stricken.
of ailment and then following it up with stricken, like we're like in 1904, like I can't.
I don't know. It was weird. The way he said it was really weird. Like the two of us are watching and we both were like, "Oh,
Also, fully just beat cancer, like a
just beat
cancer
cancer.
survivor, and
Survivor. She battled. She
and Jerry
survived.
goes,
She
nah, she still got
stricken,
it, stricken.
riddled."
She's yeah.
That
Honestly,
is what it gave, as if like it gave the way he said it was like energetically like don't touch her,
right.
which was weird and off-putting to me, but
Right. Which is crazy because normally it's if it's a female, it's the opposite. So like whatever.
uh beep boop.
Um because he clearly has no discrimination as far as like who who's who's down for Jerry. Oh,
Yes. I just feel like there was a definitely a 110% better way to to talk about her, but
cancer stricken, here we are.
cancer stricken.
So that takes us into so that takes us into a little in-ring interview between the Undertaker and Vince McMahon. He's essentially, asked about the state of the Undertaker is essentially what we're getting.
Mm.
It is announced that the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood will be a number one contendership match, with the winner going on to take on Bret Hart at the Survivor Series 1997. We know where this is going. We know where this is heading. The pieces are in motion officially.
It's crazy because Brett obviously has his match later and he says something. I did not even put it together at this point.
Right.
And then later, Brett saying his thing and he's like, it doesn't matter, like, which one of you comes out on top. And I was like, and
Oh,
Xavier saw me like go like clink, 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 and like
yeah.
put, and I was like, oh my God.
And I was like, yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so, and sorry if this is spoilers for people who have not seen it. So I'm assuming then Shawn wins Hell in the Cell. And then Shawn goes on to face Bret, and that is the Montreal screw job.
Of it all. Yes.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Right. And we will dissect that every which way because there are so many documentaries,
I know.
interviews. So look out for
Because we have
that
to
in
we'll
the
have to
upcoming
watch
months.
the Dark Side of the Ring about it.
Absolutely. And then there are
But
just like straight up just like so much content on the WWE network and also just like YouTube and things.
yeah, I
So
just like I'm kind of sad because I was literally like, dang, who is gonna win Hell in a Cell? I just like can't even think of and then I was like, damn
mm,
it. Because I really was like, wow. So I did
yeah,
not put it together until Brett said something and I was like,
here we
oh
are. Here we are.
yeah.
But there's still a few
Stones unturned.
stones unturned.
The cane of it all. Sweet. I can't wait because that means we're also getting closer to Miss Kane.
Yes, ma'am. So Paul's
So
been
I'm
real
okay.
quiet as of late. I'm just saying.
Minimal. He has been so silent. And
And
that's
if
my
this,
favorite type of Paul.
yeah, but it also should concern you because Paul is never silent.
That, ew.
If Paul Bear is making moves in silence, you should be
Ew, I
scared.
I hate that.
You should be scared because that man loves to tell you exactly what he's gonna do.
No. No.
Yup.
That just, ugh, it just gave me the ick so bad, but you're so right because he loves to be like the evil villain that tells his entire
He's
plan.
Dr.
So,
Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. Honestly, severely underrated show. I'm just gonna say it.
No, I agree. I
Oh,
agree. I agree.
so good. Perry the Platypus. Oh, love.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That just really
We start a separate Phineas and Ferb
just a rewatch
podcast.
of Phineas and Ferb. Y'all, I know you would love to see that. Don't even play with me. If I had all the time in the world, forget it.
Oh my God. Anyway,
I would thrive. Anyway, go
no,
ahead.
100%. I get it. Um, yeah.
Not Paul
So
making moves in silence. I don't know. It's so funny.
because it's just not who you think of ever.
Because he's like, oh, I was gonna say something so mean. I had to rein it in.
Yeah,
Rein
yeah.
it
Rein it in,
in.
Jerry.
Okay,
Relax.
sorry. Period. Okay. All right. Move on, quick.
All right. So the Undertaker goes on, he addresses Bret first. He's like, your day will come. But first, Shawn. Uh he's like, there's only one way out of Hell in a Cell. That's over my dead body. Love to see it. He's like, but I am going to thoroughly enjoy watching Shawn Michaels' corpse rotting in eternal damnation.
Mm,
Love that.
mm.
Of course, that prompts the Heartbreak Kid himself to come out. Um,
He's getting
but
so bold.
I fully well, he's got backup now. Um,
Oh, T.
gives gives the full spiel of how the WWF is giving him the shaft. Just recounting us the tale of Shawn Michaels since SummerSlam.
Love.
Um, so and then they're talking about he goes on to talk about, oh, he's like, oh, now it's a number one contendership match. And he's like, as the only Grand Slam champion in this company, you really got some nerve asking me to earn it. Like, I've
And
won
honestly,
every title you have. So, not
period.
for nothing, hand it over. Like, give me the shot. Because
Swear.
I'm just saying, Taker just had a shot at one night only.
That is very true.
I'm
That
just
is
he
very
literally just
true.
had one. Just had one. So,
Girl. That's very true. And honestly, I loved this because obviously Undertaker's promos never miss.
hmm
And a lot of times HBKs don't either. And so the
hmm
two of them doing like the promos together or the interview things,
Yeah, like the
whatever,
back and
together,
forth, yeah.
so good because they both have such compelling
Points. Yeah.
points. And HBK going this route of like, see all the ways that you've screwed me over, la la la. It's like kind of parallel to Bret being like, see all the ways they've screwed me over, but he took it like a weird way. Maybe not necessarily his fault, but HBK is doing it the way where that I love, where it's like, so I'm gonna be like,
He made a martyr out of himself.
yes, and
Right.
I love the way that it's just like because that's true. I do deserve a shot. I am literally the Grand Slam
Right. I've
champion.
done it all. Like,
Why do I still have to earn it?
right.
That's Big T.
Big T.
Loved that.
And then he goes on to say, unless you a hot mama and you are not, I don't lay down for anybody. And you're like, oh, okay, Sean.
I mean, agree to disagree, but
He's getting wild. He's getting
I know I
wild.
love also One Hot Mama. Like,
Crazy.
what year is it? Because
One
even in the
hot mama.
1990s, I don't think were we saying Hot Mama in the 90s? I don't even
I don't
remember.
know. Well, I mean, whatchamacallit, if Uncle Jesse from Full House was saying have mercy in the 90s, even though it was fully an Elvis thing from like the 60s, then
That's
sure.
T. That's true.
Because we fully just let this like Elvis impersonator like have like a role on the show. Like it was just like I don't know what John Stamos does other than impersonate Elvis. Just saying.
Yeah. Or like it's like Elvis combo Danny from Grease,
Right.
and that's about it.
And it's just
Which
like
fine, works if you found your formula.
sure. Yeah. I just
Sure.
like it, I don't buy it at like 50, you know? I bought it at like 32. Sure.
Just
I
reading John Stamos. Again, the two of us like wouldn't have been my move, but okay.
listen.
Whatever, John. It's fine.
And honestly, it's because I quit smoking cigarettes. I swear to God. I am a
Yay!
monster. I am a monster
Yes.
this week.
I
So
love it.
nobody else does, trust me. So, I am one rude bitch. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure.
I know. What
Um,
did you say before? And you like read me to the ground. And I was like, okay, I literally didn't ask. Oh, I was something about like you need to adjust your like expectations or like my baseline. And I was like, uh,
oops. Yeah,
fierce.
sorry.
But sometimes
Can't.
I need that. Sometimes I need it. And that's why I think I don't mind it because I just like need the check once in a while.
I get it. I get it. So then Shawn Michaels basically finishes his little promo part of this up. He's like, I'm gonna do what I always do, and that's be one step ahead of everybody. And
Mm.
honestly, kind of is.
Again, I was gonna say again, like that's not even really a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
said,
Mm-hmm.
like the last time he got screwed over, he said, surprise, now I have an insurance policy. I'm making alliances you didn't see coming in the slightest.
Right.
Because unless you knew Degeneration X was coming, which back then they did not, I would have never envisioned Triple H and Shawn linking up ever in my life.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so kind of a serve. Like he's
Right.
really, again, not a lie. Not a lie in
No,
sight.
not at all. And that takes us into our special guest ring announcer, Sunny. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us what she was wearing.
I just really, you guys, I can't emphasize enough that she said, if I'm going out, if you're phasing me out, I'm going out swinging.
Yeah.
I'm swinging for the fences, grand slam home runs every night. She was wearing a little, I think it was either satin or like a micro velvet. I don't know. Either it was gorgeous. This little black mini skirt, white go-go boots, and then
Mm-hmm.
this fuzzy black and white like jacket thing that she used as a shirt and she just pinned it like
Right. Yep.
right in the sweet spot
Mm-hmm.
cleavage. It was so iconic and it was like so New York. Like she just understood the assignment.
No, she really did.
It
She
was
really has been showing out week over
and
week.
I respect the hell out of that. I mean,
No,
she really
she said, "You
is
want to cut my
turning
minutes?"
looks.
Okay.
I will make every minute count. And I know we talk
She
about
said, "A
this every
picture's worth a
week.
thousand words." Then go ahead.
Do you see "Marry Me Sable" signs out there? Honestly, no. It's
Honestly,
always
no.
"Marry Me Sunny." The forecast says sunny days ahead. Like it's
Right.
always about Miss
Honestly, you're
Sunny.
not wrong. You're really
I
not.
haven't seen a Sable sign in a minute because she hasn't really been
Been on
out,
TV, yeah, because
but
stupid Mark.
they are always
Um,
out for Sunny. Always down.
Love to see it. So she introduces this match, which is the Legion of Doom taking on the Nation of Domination, specifically Kama Mustafa and Farouk. Um, this match was short. It was
Yeah,
this one was probably the one like
that's what I was gonna
the
say.
dud of
Yeah.
the bunch, I guess.
And only because it was short, because I didn't think it was bad in quality.
No,
It was just short.
right.
Even I felt like Farouk was like, because normally he doesn't, no offense to Farouk, but he doesn't really do it for me.
Hmm.
But like I thought it was great, and then it was like done.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the match like literally like we get maybe like two tags from each side, maybe, before
Hmm.
D'Lo and Rocky show up and start beating up the Legion of Doom. Like
Yeah, because
immediately.
they were gonna hit Farouk, which was crazy. They were gonna hit Farouk with the Doomsday device, and I said that's a big, big man to be doing the Doomsday device on, but
Well, I mean, they did it to Henry
they
Godwin,
did to Henry,
so
but to harrowing
not
consequences as we all had to relive 4,700 times.
you're right,
But
you're right.
I mean, what's his God? Animal got him up right quick. I was
Hmm.
like, dang, that man.
He is stout.
He is stout. I love
Hmm.
him. I
No,
love him so
absolutely.
much.
Ahmed Johnson comes in and joins the fray, and then that is also followed by the slew of refs and officials to dissipate this
To
madness.
break it up.
Love to see it.
Hmm.
Next, that takes us into our semifinals of the Intercontinental Championship tournament between Owen Hart and Brian Pillman. Owen comes out with like a new theme. Interesting. It
It
kind of
was
sounded
like
like prison-y.
I was gonna say it was kind of like dark and a little odd for him,
Right.
but I was like, okay, trying to
Sure.
separate yourself from the herd, do a little something new. I guess,
Yeah,
do
sure.
it.
I maybe because his other one was a little too like happy, I
Ding, ding,
guess.
ding, ding. Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
which I
too.
love that one, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But he's also comes out flanked by the police
Mm.
to protect himself from Austin and his
Hmm.
ongoing restraining order. Um, no one respects.
Yeah.
Um, and then Pillman comes out and he brings Marlena, and Marlena, it's giving Princess Leia when she's captured by Jabba the Hutt.
Yes.
It's very that.
Yes.
It's like this
Yes,
like
bitch, where it's like, ugh.
leather like
It's like, okay, I wish I literally wrote like I'm upset because she looks so good, but it's like she's in captivity.
yeah,
It's the Princess Leia effect where it's like, God, she looks so amazing. I wish this wasn't against her will.
right,
Because
exactly.
it's upsetting because you're like, oh, like she didn't want to wear that, but also, okay, body,
No,
okay, face, like,
no, for
okay,
real.
hair. Like I was like, yeah,
No,
this like
fully.
little leather set, whole,
The whole
the
nine.
whole, the whole body was out, girl.
Crazy. Pillman at one point is like pulling her by her collar. She's
Gross.
wearing like a choker collar. So he just was like yanking on her. Hate
Mm-mm.
that.
Hate it.
Hate that. Pillman grabs the microphone and he's like, "It's a dark day for the WWF." And apparently he goes into this like story of how he injured himself banging Marlena,
Yeah,
which
he's
we
wearing a sling poorly.
right. Um, yeah, and we're like, okay, that's very plausible, I'm sure.
Mm.
And then he's like, I'm just gonna have to forfeit. Like, I'm so sorry, Owen. I really wanted to do this match, but
Mm-mm.
what are you gonna do?
What
And
are
you're
you
like,
gonna do?
okay.
And
Uh,
Owen, love him, is like, cool. Well, you do what you gotta do. I win. Like
no,
it
fully.
was so
He does
great. He was
not
like,
care.
okay, well, see ya.
Right. He's like, oh,
Amazing.
sounds great to me. Sergeant Slaughter comes out and he starts asking Pillman some, he's like, well, you didn't let anybody that works here know that you were injured. So like, did you go to a doctor? Where's the note? Did you get an x-ray? Where are they?
Where are the X-rays?
He's like, Pillman's, lying, the dog ate my homework, blah, 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 blah.
Mm, mm-hmm.
And then Sergeant Slaughter goes, think fast, throws the microphone at Pillman's bad hand, grabs it immediately, and he's like, knew it.
He's like, and this match is going on as scheduled. Thank you.
He's like, I called it.
Honestly,
He's like, your arm's not broken. We're doing this match, or neither of you are going to wrestle in the WWF again. And he's like, ring the bell, and the bell rang immediately. I was like, this is
I
great.
it was a serve. It was so great, perfectly timed, not too much. He goes, "Ring that bell," and just walks out.
Yeah,
Okay, diva. Sorry.
no, fully.
Picks. Did you drop this king? Like,
No, literally, which I love to
incredible.
see it. And of course, so they start the match like barely wrestling each other, like barely touching each other, like breaking so cleanly that it's like absurd. It's like comical, really.
Hmm.
And then they're wrestling essentially like that until they go to the first commercial break. And then when they come back from the commercial break, we are informed that Owen got hit in the back of the head with Marlena's purse by Marlena,
Hmm.
which Owen took great offense to, and then starts actually wrestling Pillman after that. Love to see it. Love to
Love
see
that.
it. Yeah, Owen starts fighting for real. Jerry on commentary goes because he's upset with Marlena for having hit Owen. He addressing Pillman, he's like, you need to yank her around by her collar. And you're like, again, you.
Yeah, like, do you want me to hit her on the nose with a newspaper too?
I
That dog?
I guess.
What
Yeah.
is this? I need to yank her around the collar more, like to discipline her. Okay.
All right,
So,
Jerry.
mm,
Yeah, I won't go too far into that rant again. If you want to hear it, you can go into an episode like 2 weeks ago where we spent a solid 20 minutes dissecting the fact that Jerry is a freak and needs to be stopped.
yep.
So it's true. It's
Mm.
it's just true. Goldust comes in on his way to Pillman, nails Owen first, which allows Owen to pick up the disqualification victory. And then of course Goldust goes and attacks Pillman. Pillman escapes, grabs Marlena, runs her up the stairs. Again, we got to get this woman some sensible shoes if we're gonna just be
Swear.
yanking her across this arena every week, because
I
this poor
know.
woman is gonna break her feet. Um, yeah. Oh, I love after this, after Goldust chases Pillman out of the arena, um Owen grabs the microphone. He's like, it was a hard-fought victory, but we do what we gotta do. Woo! He's like, I'm going on to the finals. And you're like, okay. I
Love
love
it.
it.
It was really funny.
Such a brat. So he's going on congratulating himself as he does. When Austin sneaks into the ring, attacks from behind. Love to see it. Of course, that forces the police to spring into action. They're out here like just brandishing nightsticks, and I'm like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Vince McMahon is so just outraged, motivated
Upset.
by what's going on. He like runs into the ring. He's like holding off the police. He's like, give me a minute, give me a minute. And he's like, what's the matter with you? And he's like talking to Austin. And he's like, we all understand, like, at the WWF, that you're like upset and why you're upset, and then he lists like all the things that have happened to us, and he's like, you had to give up the Intercontinental Championship and the Tag Team Championship, and you can't compete, and blah blah blah. And you're like, okay, are you trying to piss him off?
Yeah,
Like,
like shut up.
I was
Like,
like, I think he knows. And he's like, and essentially Vince, as a boss does, he's like, we just don't want you to get permanently injured. Like, that this is for your protection,
right.
essentially. Which is the truth.
It's
Um,
true.
as a boss, that's kind of what you got to do. You got to protect your assets. Um, and then he being Stone Cold Steve Austin grabs my, he's like, as well as I do, that this is what I do. This is all I do.
Hmm.
Um, and he's like, ain't nobody gonna tell me that I'm not the best in the world at it. And then he's like, "Oh, talking to me about working in your like little system." He's like, "Okay, I'll work in your little system." He's like, "I appreciate the fact that you and the WWF care." And then he's like, "I also appreciate the fact that you can kiss my ass." And then Vince McMahon gets stunned for the first time in the WWF, and we love to see it. It is an ugly stunner. It
It
is
is horrible.
it is an ugly, ugly, ugly stunner. But
Because he just takes it so bad.
yeah, he always does. He's
He
not good at
always
taking
does.
he's not good at taking the stunner.
I
It's kind of like a running joke.
because I'm not a wrestler. We know this. I'm new to wrestling. We also know this. But it's like it's not like a Hurricane Rana. Like it's and then you
Yeah,
just like
you drop to your knees behind him, and
and
you
you roll over. But he like tried to, I think, do too much because he like almost like flipped over him, which how? And then like had a small seizure and then
right.
gave dead fish eyes.
No, fully.
Just like
Fully. Yeah, just
it made me extremely uncomfortable. I
It
really
made everybody extremely uncomfortable. Vince
he
McMahon gets roasted for especially this one a lot.
it was bad. And when they showed the replay, I was like, ew. I
There's actually
just
a really funny video of Mick Foley watching Vince McMahon take the stunner, and he's just like crying laughing because it's so bad. He's
I
just
have
like,
to see
it
this.
cracks him up. So he's like, it's just so
I have to see that
it's
because
so good.
that is me. I didn't laugh because it was so shockingly bad. I was flabbergasted. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Not the dead
funny.
fish eyes. The eyes really freaked me out. He was just like,
Yeah. Yeah. Into space. Like, someone close those.
do the
So
just
like, close those eyes, please. Um,
rest.
I know it's like Gandalf sleeping. I can't.
See,
Um,
I was thinking of Boromir.
oh my
But Vince
God.
McMahon does not deserve to be related to be associated with Boromir. Don't even bring that up.
Actually, not with any of Tolkien's work, let's be honest. Um,
Period. Thank
so
you.
Austin gets arrested for his troubles. We love to
Hot.
see it, and just giggling, the whole time, all the way. Love to see it.
And that's my friend.
Hmm.
That's my friend.
Absolutely. Love to see it.
Vince was so
Next,
drama for this.
so drama for this.
So
Next, we
drama.
are treated to another like just a classic wrestling moment in our next match. So, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is set to take on Dude Love in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Um and so he makes his entrance. Chyna's got a chain. Jerry's talking to Rhonda Shear with a broken mic. Uh,
Girl.
who,
Wait, can I talk about Rhonda Shear for one
yeah,
second?
go to town. Go to town.
Rhonda Shear was standing behind the announce table, and I don't know who that is, and some of you might not know who that is either, but she was like an American TV personality. She had a late night show, whatever. And I'm sorry if I'm not giving her her proper flowers, but the thing was she was standing behind the announce table before they introduced her, and I was like, who is this woman with just her gig I'm sorry. Her large breasts, hard nipples, just right in the camera. And go off, Queen. I love that for you, but I was just like, who is
No,
that
they were center. They were
center
center of the
screen?
shot.
Because Vince is gone and
Right.
she's standing in the spot between Jerry and JR, and it's just like the camera is like this, and it's just like
A
this.
headless like torso.
And just hard nipples.
Right. We're
Like
like, girl,
fierce. I love it, but then it
girl.
was so funny because she's getting interviewed, and I was like, "Who is it?" Because I thought she was just a random person there, and I was like, "That is bold as hell." I mean, get your limelight, girl. But then they're interviewing her, and they said it's Rhonda Shear, and I was like, "I have to look up who this woman is." And I look it up. She owns a bra company now.
Love that.
A
I love
bra.
the irony of it all.
I love. I honestly love it because that was probably like a moment for her, and she said, I'm gonna make a coin off of this." And I know
Right.
this was like 20 years ago, but
Listen,
fierce.
it, turn that, what is it? Lemons into lemonade, silver lining, all that
That
good.
5 minutes into 5 years, or 50 years, whatever.
Right.
I mean, a bra
Listen.
company, that is so delightfully funny. I love
Yeah,
it
I
now.
know.
Go off,
Uh,
Rhonda.
go off, Rhonda Shear. Um, so Dude Loves Music hits. We're like, okay, cool. Like, where is he? We look at the Titantron. Dude Love is just he's chilling. He's like, I'm sure you're wondering like what I'm doing and why I'm not like down to the ring yet. And he's like, honestly, Falls Count Anywhere, not my bag. Not for
I
me. He's like, that's not a love thing. And I was like, love that. And
love.
he's like, but I can think of somebody who might want to participate in the match. And then Dude Love introduces Mankind. So we get this like Parent Trap-esque like interview
It's
where
the
Dude Love
Lohana-sans.
is interviewing Mankind, and Mankind's like, as much as I would love to, I actually think I know somebody who's better suited to take on Hunter in this match. Um and we're like, oh, Cactus Jack. Love to see
I
it.
the
Love to
scream
see it.
the scream I scrummed because I did not for some reason think of Cactus Jack, and I don't know why, because like I kind of knew it was coming. He's been teasing it, and for some reason I was like, who is this gonna be? And then I was like, when they said Cactus Jack, I tweaked. So good,
Hmm.
so good.
Yeah.
The interview and the way it was edited was so like as if they were legit, and not just like, what do you think about it, dude love? Well, I would love to,
No,
like, it was
they high fived. They were like chit
there was
chatting.
really
It,
like interruptions. It
it
was
was a back and
so
forth.
well
It was good.
done.
Yeah.
So well done. And then Cactus Jack just comes in with the garbage can, and
Hmm.
he
I love it. And I do want to give kudos to Hunter in this scenario because if he doesn't
yes.
sell it as big as he does, then Cactus Jack is dead in the water in the WWF.
So true.
Because
He was the perfect person to do it with, to be honest.
because he like essentially oversells like or sells so well that like you needed that to be like, oh, this guy's scary, like this guy has done things. And if you didn't watch WCW in the early 90s, like you need Hunter's reaction to make that make sense for you.
Very
Uh,
true. Very,
because
very
otherwise
true.
you're just like, okay, he's outfit change again. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But because Hunter's so over the top, he's like yelling at the referees, like, what are you, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's
He's
losing
like,
his mind.
no, no.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So because he sells it so well, it like cements Cactus Jack as a threat. Um, and without ever having any kind of prior knowledge to him, which is great, which is you you elevated your opponent before they even got to the match. Love
Love
to see
that.
it.
And I love when all the girlies work together to make the match like a success. And I
No,
just feel like I love all these multiple personalities of McFoley. Again, I feel like he's the only one that could really do it. And the fact that now Triple H has beef with all three
no, fully.
is so funny to me.
I
Because it would
know.
honestly be so funny if like Dude Love was like, no, actually Triple H is cool. I like him. And then they were like, but they all hate him. Not hate
No,
him, but like they
no,
all got beef with him. And I think that
right.
is so funny.
No, I agree.
Big
Um,
fan.
This is fantastic. So as soon as Cactus Jack emerges into the arena, we get an ECW chant immediately.
Love.
Cactus Jack, last seen in ECW. Love to see it. Love to see it. And then I'm just gonna go through the highlights because they were fast and wild.
Yes.
Um, Cactus Jack performs a swinging neck breaker on the floor after he lifted up the mat to expose the concrete floor underneath. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Chyna nails Cactus Jack with like a running clothesline as he's running around the ring area. Knocks him over the guardrail. Absolutely insane. Uh, Cactus Jack throws Triple H into the railing, breaks it. Fully just breaks the entire guardrail. Like an entire
Breaks
like
it.
section of the audience could have just ran onto the set, realistically.
Would have been really fierce, actually. I thought that might happen.
Yeah, no, I was like, ooh, but I don't know, security was probably scrambling.
Yeah.
Um, Crazy. Uh, Cactus Jack misses an elbow drop from the ring apron and lands on a trash can for his trouble. He also
Mm,
performs a sunset flip off the apron into like a near fall pinning situation. Crazy. He back
crazy.
body drops Hunter on the ramp. Also
Oh,
crazy. Um, Hunter rams Cactus into China into the ring steps. Crazy.
yeah.
Which to me, I was like, okay, cool. Um,
Get up.
yeah. She really, for the rest of the match, she was down. The rest of the match, I was like, you get involved in every single match that this man
Hmm.
has, and you're trying to tell me you get bumped into one time and you get taken out. You get your body slamming grown men, and you can't take up one bump. China,
Girl.
China.
Disappointing.
What is this?
Disappointing.
What is
Disappointing
this?
behavior.
No, absolutely not. I was like, you're not supposed to be like the others. Hello?
You're supposed to be, yes, like
You're supposed to be different.
you're
Like,
supposed to be the one, girl. Like we were all rooting for you. How
no,
dare you?
no,
But
fully. No, I was just like,
like
come on. Is this realistic? Like the whole match, the whole rest of the match, she's down.
swear. And like she hit Cactus Jack with a chair. Cactus Jack takes umbrage with that, so he like goes to go after her
He
and
like
literally
grabs
Triple
the chair and
Yes, and Triple H just decides he doesn't care if China's collateral because she should be able to take a hit. And he pushes Cactus Jack into the steps, but China is the sandwich meat in
right,
between.
right,
But it's just like it shouldn't it shouldn't have incapacitated the human cyborg that is Miss China. Like
that's what I'm
she
saying.
is the gladiator.
Right,
Like she's what would that sign say? It was like half woman, half machine, all China.
right,
And one little bump into the ring steps, and they didn't even come apart. Like it wasn't even that crazy.
right.
And we're asleep.
Got
Mm,
it. Interesting. I don't buy it,
mm.
but that's just me.
I don't either. Hate it.
Um, Hunter hits Cactus with some of the grossest headshots with the trash can I've ever seen. It looked like he was trying to kill the man. Like
Yeah.
he's like, that's a roach.
Yeah,
Like,
there was one because I was writing something and Xavier was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "We have to go back."
no, we have to go back because that was brutal.
He's like, "I saw it and have to live with it. Now you do too."
No, fully.
He
I
was
was
like,
like,
"Go to 136
no,
and
fully. I was like,
watch this."
watch this. And it's so fast. I was like, this man,
Oof.
crazy. Cactus Jack disappears into the backstage area and emerges with the oldest table in the history of tables. Crazy. It looks
Or
like
like when they were like, "I wasn't born yesterday. The table was born today. It was
no, it
made
was built
today
today. It wasn't even
out of a piece
finished.
of plywood and four pieces of rebar they found at the construction site next
And a
door."
prayer. It was crazy. Because so they get on top of it, and I was like, Triple H is 260. Mick Foley's like pushing 3. So there's like just like 500-ish pounds on this flimsy wooden table. And
This is the
when I
thickness of the
tell you
table.
the table looked like it felted. I'm just saying.
It was like
If that table could scream, it would be like my leg. Like, yeah. It was that. Um,
it was bad news. That poor table didn't stand
so
a chance.
not at all. So it looks like Hunter is going to do the pedigree on the table when Cactus Jack reverses it, hits the pile driver, gets the pin. Cactus Jack is victorious in his debut match in the WWF. Love
And
to
like
see it.
Chyna throws like her dying corpse like on Cactus Jack like in an attempt to stop him, but the 3 count had happened like 20 seconds ago.
No, fully. And then I was like,
Girl.
and then she was like kind of just like laying there for like a second, and
I think she just wanted to touch him.
I
She
mean, he
just
seems
wanted to
like
be
a
like,
good cuddler, like I'm not gonna lie, but
I was
like,
like, I think she just wanted to lay his head on his chest and see what that was like.
you know,
And I get it.
I get it.
Honestly, I thought for a second, I was like, if Cactus Jack and Chyna linked up, that would be fierce.
That would be
That would
crazy.
be a fierce duo. I would love that. I know
That,
that's not gonna happen, at
no,
least.
but that's a
Yeah.
that would be a force to be reckoned with.
That
That's
would
pretty
be
sure.
like if I like fantasy football, like fantasy wrestling tag team. I feel like
Ooh, I
that
like
would be
that.
fun.
Um, so Cactus is celebrating on the floor, bang bang galore. He's like literally just
He
spinning
did
in a
like a break dance move. It was so and
he's
then
yeah,
like rolled
he's
out
spinning. He's out here spinning like that Australian break dancer just on the floor and then just rolls under the curtain.
under the
Just
and they're just
rolls
like, oh,
backstage under the curtain. Can you
okay.
imagine being in Gorilla and just seeing Mick Foley just roll like
And you have
onto
to
the
like jump over him, like and be
and
like,
you're
"Ooh."
just like, oh, okay, hi. Uh, is that how the segment was supposed to end, Mick? What happened? Like, why are
I
you on the ground?
to be a fly on to be a just a random employee working for the WWE during this time and just watching Mick Foley just be
Work?
all these people and do all these crazy like I would just be having the time of my life.
Oh, absolutely. Love to see it.
Just be like, oh yeah, and then I was standing back there putting these wires away, and here comes Mick Foley rolling under the curtain just out the blue. And we
Yeah,
just
just
Mick, that guy,
that guy.
hysterical.
So
Love it.
good. So good. Next, we get story time with HBK. He comes back out. He's like, Vince is gone. He's like, I can come back out. So he's like,
He's
boss
so
is
real for
done.
that.
Boss is roasted. Let's go. He's like, I'm gonna go into the tale of how I won the European Championship, and was like, we just saw it last
We
time,
just
and we
saw
saw it earlier
it.
tonight, and then you just played it again. Like,
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm
it's
good.
okay.
Um, but instead, he calls out the Undertaker. He's like, I'm calling out your dead ass. Like, let's go. He's like, bring that
Literally,
carcass
your
out
dead
here.
ass. So
I
funny.
was like, okay, interesting. And I was like, this feels like a trap, but here we are. So it takes the Undertaker like a second to get out there. And of course, as soon as he starts making his way down, Helmsley comes. HBK comes with the chair he had. Rick Rude comes down. Chyna comes down. Undertaker's just getting walloped by DX. And then although they're not officially named DX yet, it's coming.
Mm-hmm,
Great.
mm-hmm.
Um, Taker ends up with the steel chair from Shawn some way somehow, and then just scares them off into the backstage area because he looked big pissed. He like slammed it down onto the ramp and I was like, "Ooh, I thought he was gonna throw it."
I did too. I thought he was gonna throw it right up the ramp, but he slammed it like down as hard as possible
I
onto
think he
the
thought about it and then he's like, "This might hit a fan." And
I I think you're right. I think he like mid thought he was like, "Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't," and just slammed it instead. And it
yeah,
slammed so hard, I was like, I know he felt that like in his spinal cord, like it
no,
like
fully
shot up
like
the arm
reverberated. He's like,
because he meant to really shuck it, and
no, for real,
and you know
crazy.
what? That's that high level thought that some I'm like, Undertaker, because
Yeah,
that would have been bad news bears.
no, absolutely.
But
You imagine
there
getting a
was
chair dropped at you from 7 feet up.
at like the velocity of like 98 miles per hour,
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Yeah, no
No
thanks.
way. But it was really funny because they're all beating the crap out of him. And I was like, where is anyone kind of gonna come out and like help this man? And he was like, he doesn't have any friends. And I was like, "What?"
He doesn't
So
have friends.
sad.
He doesn't do
I was
that.
like, not even like a ref wants to come out and like help break it up. No,
They're
he's got to
scared
do
of him
everything himself.
too.
Yeah, he is really a one-man army.
Right. Yeah.
Him in the army of the undead, I guess. But
And he likes it
call
that
the
way.
druids. Where are they at? They really had stake in your game for like 5 seconds and then
Yeah, we haven't seen them in a minute, but
like literally a year. But
who
hello.
knows? Who knows? So that takes us into our main event match, which is a non-title contest between Bret Hart and Goldust. Bret Hart makes his entrance, grabs the mic. He's like, doesn't matter who wins the Hell in a Cell, because I got to take them at Survivor Series, and they're gonna find out that I'm the best there is, was, ever will be. And we're like, okay, short, sweet, to the point. Love to see it.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't mad
Um,
at it.
Goldust has Pillman's like logo like painted onto his face in
Mm-hmm.
like he's got like this like half painted thing going on. It's like half black with Pillman's logo and like gold and it's just like half his like normal face. We're getting like a here's the revenge plot. This is the man that you broke. So like,
Love.
it feels very that.
Mm-hmm.
Um Goldust is like big pissed. You can kind of just like the energy in this one is like he's trying to fight to just like get his frustration out.
It
He's trying
was
to
good
fight.
though.
This
I
match
thought
was
it was
great.
really good.
They're both like veterans. They're both technically sound. Like it was a great match.
It was a
Um
great match.
of course Bret is working on the leg all with the end goal of the sharpshooter. Bret's got a game plan. Bret sticks to the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
JR is so over Jerry. So
Yeah.
over Jerry on all of the Marlena like business that he fully just like yells at him. Like just fully
I
snaps and just starts yelling at him.
I
He's like,
love when the
"Can
reality
you
creeps
stop?"
in.
He's
I
like, "Can
love it.
you stop?" He's like, "Clean it up." He's like, "Clean it up."
He
Like,
literally says clean it up. He was like, get your absolute act together right now because you're embarrassing me now.
right,
I love when the reality seeps in, like when Vince did it and was like, okay, enough.
right.
Like,
It's
and
like, mm,
JR started like interrupting Jerry and calling like the match. Like Jerry would
hmm
be like saying something heinous and JR would just start talking over him, like
right.
calling the match.
He's like, no. He's like, no. He's like, this
Shut
is
up.
like he knows like this is so wildly inappropriate even for the color commentator. Like
Right.
there is no reason to do this. Again, listen to our rant from 2 weeks ago, but I
I
love
just
that JR was like, no, no, stop. Like you are absolutely over the line and you need to bring that hot mess that you call yourself and clean that shit up because
period.
it's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, and I understand making like one or two comments because Goldust is in the match. So it makes sense to
Right,
like mention it. But like it just kept going and going and going, getting worse and worse and worse and more and more
right,
disgusting. And it was like, okay, like we got it.
right,
Thank you.
right. I like
Shoosh.
it's just like I was
Too
like
much.
I'm really tired of hearing your fantasies played out over like commentary. Don't want to
Yeah.
hear it.
Hmm.
Sorry. I was
Yeah.
like whatever you do in the business of your own bedroom, that's between you and the good Lord and I hope a qualified therapist. But Jesus Christ, do not subject the rest of us to your kink. Anyway,
Yes.
moving
Hmm.
on. So, uh We get the classic ring post figure four from Bret Hart. Again, all working towards the sharpshooter. Shawn Michaels shows up on the ramp. To me, really early in this match because he's out
Yeah.
here for like 10 minutes just
Yeah.
chilling on the ring ramp, dancing, being whatever. And I was like, did he need to be out here this whole time?
Yeah,
Like,
getting called
like
slurs
the
just
whole time.
the whole
I was like, that's
time.
crazy. Um, Absolutely insane. The match continues. Bret obviously continues to work on the leg. Bret gets Goldust in the sharpshooter, gets the victory, lickety split. Uh,
Immediately.
yeah, he's like, oh, just kidding. And of course, right after that, Shawn Michaels attacks Bret Hart, and then the rest of Degeneration X comes out. The rest of the Hart Foundation comes out, and then Taker comes for his comeuppance. Love to see it. We the DX Hart Foundation thing. I was like, oh, okay, this feud is definitely this like brawl is definitely happening. Love to see it. But
Hmm.
Taker, I was like, this is what I'm waiting for. I was like, there's no way he's gonna let that just slide.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Without a doubt.
he comes in, he does not play for anybody's team. Hit everyone's fair game. He hits every
Everyone's an enemy.
he hits everybody. Love to see it.
Everybody.
And then he double choke slams Shawn and Bret.
Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. I was thinking about this is so stupid, but I was like, I can't imagine doing, because obviously, like, one hand is more dominant than the other. Trying to do that I was just like, that is really hard to do.
Yes, very
Like,
difficult to do.
two people at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
their timing has to be correct. They have to jump like enough
And
for you. Like you also have to like
have that
get them up. Like so
crazy. And normally, like, when he puts them down, like, the hand is there to kind of like
support. No,
place
he just
side support. He just said a schwapa.
yeah.
Like, whoop, like,
Mm-hmm.
so crazy. I was like, that is the double choke slam with that's wild. I don't know why that really took me, but I was like, that
Love,
that
love to
was
see
tough
it. So
and well done.
all the pieces are in motion, baby. We got Bret, Shawn, and Taker still feuding. Cactus has made an appearance. Vince has been stunned for the first time. So
Another stone on the gauntlet, girl.
we are very, very shortly going to get the Vince McMahon character. The
I
Vince
cannot
McMahon
believe it.
character gets essentially birthed out of the Montreal screw job. So we are well on our way. Love to see it.
She's crowning, girl.
She's crowning. I believe we have one more regular episode before we get into Bad Blood. Um, but this has been another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff, wherever you find us. For Kelsey, I am Xavier, and we'll catch you next time.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.